Hi, it's Kelly again. I know that you guys have all been waiting for new videos, so I thought I'd finally do the long-awaited one of how I was diagnosed with MS. I will have other videos after this. This one is just going to be how I was diagnosed, and then there will be other ones of what it was like basically growing up with MS. So stay tuned for those. Just be a little patient because I haven't gotten around to them, but I will. I first started having symptoms when I was 16. I remember being in class. I think it was like geometry or something, and sitting there writing on the paper, and all of a sudden my hand just went bloop, just limp. I had no feeling, no mobility to it, nothing. There's a line down my paper, and I was like, okay, what is going on? I hope nobody else noticed. It's kind of embarrassing. A few seconds later, it came back, so I quickly erased the line and started over doing what I was doing. I thought it would go away, but it just kind of progressed more and more. And each time it got, from just a few seconds, went all the way from 10 to 30 seconds with each episode. I didn't know what it was. I told my mom about it because teachers noticed it. Luckily, they had the patience, and like if it was a test and I couldn't write it, I couldn't get it done in time, they would help me. So we had nowhere to go and no idea what to do. Doctor visit after doctor visit, nobody knew what was going on. My primary physician thought I had migraines, even though I never had any headaches or anything. So eventually my mother took me to a neurologist who said I was a teenager who wanted attention to see a psychiatrist and be put on tranquilizers. Guess where she shoved that little diagnosis? So eventually everything went back to normal. I just lived my life as it was. We never knew what was going on, but we figured that, okay, it must have been some kind of a fluke. Maybe I was stressed out. You never know, especially being teenagers. Your body's still growing. Who knows? So about a year later, I was 17 years old, a senior in high school. I had like this freaky mullet hair, the bad hair that we all have, and I kept it up in a bret, trying to, make so I didn't look so weird. Kept it up in a bret, and I noticed one morning it was a little numb. Okay, sure, maybe I need to take it out of my bret. So I did, and I went to school with, my weird mullet kind of hair. The next day, it wasn't any better, and it kind of spread a little bit. So we switched shampoos, detergents, I watched what I ate in case there was allergies. We had no idea what was going on, but we didn't worry about it just yet. Eventually, in the mornings, I don't know why I would wake up like this. It's always waking up. The numbness and tingliness spread to where one morning I woke up and, I can still remember how I felt. Everything, my whole head and the back of my neck and my right side of my body was weak and numb. So my mother took me to her place of employment, which was at a research hospital. I saw the head doctor there, and he said that what I was, limping and everything I was going through was not normal. Send me over to the hospital and find out what was going on. Go over to the hospital, and they test me for everything from lupus to AIDS to pregnancy. You name it, they tested me. And I'm not sure what made them decide to do this, but they wanted to do a spinal tap. So I had 7 doctors. Some of those were students. Luckily I was high on the medication, whatever they had me on besides Solumedrol. I was talking on the phone and watching TV in my little ball rolled up fetal position. They waited for the results to come back, and they found out that I had lesions on my spine. First thing they thought of was spinal cancer. Now, I know what cancer is, but on the spine, I had no idea what to expect or what to think, And of course, this is at a teaching hospital where they have to learn as well. So we didn't know what to think. So they wanted to do one more test to, I guess, cut out other possibilities of other diseases or stuff that could be wrong. So they wanted to do an MRI, and they did one. Lo and behold, the MRI showed that I had lesions on my brain as well. The one head doctor at the time or who was in charge, I guess, didn't want to fully diagnose me with MS. I guess because I was, 17 years old, and it was very rare for somebody to have, be diagnosed with MS. It's usually, it was, quote unquote, women in their 30s, 40s, and older getting diagnosed, not a 17-year-old girl. So I had another doctor that was also there, and she even came in. They sat my mom down and told her that I had multiple sclerosis. Now, I had no idea what MS was, never heard of it, never planned on hearing of it. My mom didn't know too much, and even the doctors, they explained the demyelinization and stuff like that, but they didn't explain what I was going to go through or what could happen and stuff that I was going to be feeling. They don't have it, so they wouldn't be able to. Other than that, it was October 3rd of 1993, a little over a month shy from my 18th birthday. As I said, I was a senior in high school. So it eventually sunk in, and it was quite the shock. So that's pretty much it. Stay tuned, and I will make another video on what it was like basically growing up with MS. Thank you.